Friends, generals, teammates, we have uncovered the most diabolical of all golders that I've ever had the chance to come across. So stay tuned. I'm going to point them out and shout them out and actually show you a current game. Stay tuned. So that's right, friends. We are looking at game number, and I'll give it to you. It is 3003792. So let me set this up for you before we look into it. Weeks ago, I was in a game as Vietnam. Many of you will remember said game. And I was Vietnam, and so I was in an alliance, and we were going back and forth. We were trying to figure out to befriend people or not within the alliance. And there was another alliance that took over and spread pretty rapidly. My alliance got picked off. We were kind of losing to somebody different. And so a guy approached me and said, "Hey, B2, I've got up, if I know your alliance is falling apart. Looks like you're a great player. I wanted to go ahead and make you the offer to join the alliance." So I did. We were falling apart anyway, so we got rid of it. There was only 2 active players left. He picked me up. We finished off the game. I actually filmed a video using his troops too. That was the India guy who had like all the carriers and all the planes and just was so far ahead of me in the game that I was like, wow, this is a pretty awesome setup, right? So that goes on, and we finished the game strong. I'm trying to decide what choppers to buy here in the background. I'm just going to go with troop killers. It's not going to matter, and I'm going to show you why, but I still want to research, get my economical points, yada yada. So I join, and we finish off the game strong. I actually, if you look back through some videos with the India, you'll find the person's name. And so we had a very strong finish, and we ended up coming in the top 5 spots as an alliance. And so this guy says, "Hey, let's join a room on Discord. Let's coordinate joining the next game together. It's pretty awesome." So we do. We end up joining the game together, and then we communicate here on Discord, right? And the room was like a war room, and it had a picture of a nuclear bomb on it, which you notice it's no longer here, right? In my direct messages with 3 of us in there, right? So we joined the new game. We're in here, and we look, and it won't take you long to figure out who the guys are that the threesome that was in here, right? So if you look at the top, it was Tommy Boy and Lex. We all joined together because we were separated geographically on the map. We took a look at it and said, "Hey, let's just stay in different alliances. Let's share this shared intelligence." And you can see I still have it with Tommy, right? But Lex dropped his, so I dropped that as well. I don't want him to see my troops. I'm actually going to drop his as well because it's obviously that they're in this together, right? So I go in the Discord, boom. Now I'm suddenly no longer a member of the group, and I'm going to do not disturb on. Like he's thinking that I'm upset or whatever. Not upset at all, but I just wanted to point out a couple of things, right? So I can no longer see if you look at past videos, I can't see it up here, and I can't see North Korea over here, right? But if I look, it's pretty obvious that he's got a big section of land. He also nuked our top player over here because he was pulling intel off of me, right? So he actually, on day 9, hit Ethiopia with about, 15 nuclear bombs on day 9. He has carrier groups out here. He's got just max level tanks. I mean, it's just a ridiculous amount. If you do the math, I would assume it's probably, you can look, it's day 13, and he has 67 and 70 cities. No shock there, right? So if I go and look at the coalition list, obviously Ethiopia dropped out. We actually dropped 2 people. Congo dropped out, which made me the leader, and then Ethiopia hasn't logged in since the 15th. Obviously, has no country left, right? So if I look at the other coalition list, let's take a look at Lex's, right? He still has his guys in here, and then of course I believe where is the other guy at? He's dropped off of his other alliance. So I would be willing to bet that someone's going to fall out of here. But I just wanted to point out that day 13, I wanted to show you the destruction that happened to here. So if I go back a couple of days, where is it at? Let's go back to day 9, I believe it was. So we'll just type it in and take a look. nuclear bombs, right? Game is over. Asian team wins by nukes on day 9. Good game, right? So you can just tell he's a little bit salty, rightfully so. You can see him a 264 here and a 183 there. And so if we look at that now, that 264 and 183 has become 714 and 710. So some could make the case, oh, B2, you're just bitter because you got dropped as part of that 3-man team or whatever. And I'm not. Like, honestly, when the message came over, I can show it to you. I think this is where we part ways. Our play styles are different and don't mesh well. Good luck in your future games. I just asked for him to send me help with South Africa so I can come down, right? There's no surprise. So, right back, good luck. But I wanted to show you, like, this is kind of one of the issues with Conflict of Nations. You are going to run into people who just spend a ridiculous amount of gold. He spent probably upwards of $200 in gold, and I can say that because of the amount it takes to actually go through and research. Not only did he have the missiles researched out, but he also had the aircraft carrier was researched to max. That's a day 27 max out that this guy already has them level 3 and level 4 on there. And now that I can't see his units, I can't really show them to you because he's taken me off of there. And of course, as I pointed out, the Tommy Boy has done the same thing, right? So and you can see he's already coming here. So basically what he's saying is, like, our styles don't mesh well because I'm going to drop $200 and you're playing the game fair. You can see I'm battling South Africa here. Now, this is the game that started up here in the corner. And if you go back a couple of videos ago, you can actually see where I showed North Korea's stuff as well as the Ukraine. So these guys pretty much have this game in the bag. I'm just going to be going for max points from here on out. So what I did was I took the South African towns and I'm just smashing the buildings in there in case he decides to take them back, right? I don't want him to have any buildings to be able to base off of or build more units. And so boom. And then I would take that. I'm not going to build units down here anyway, so it's not hurting me to smash everything. And now with all of his cities under wraps, I can just finish off his land and then move up, right? So now he's going to go try to take a city, but he's going to run into these rogues that are just going to come back and fight him, basically. So I can basically come back and pick up the scraps on that. Not a big deal. So CoN news. Let's see what people have written for today. Let's go back to current day. I think which way is it here? Let's go back this way. Has anybody written anything on here? Let's see if anybody's written anything. So nothing really new. Just the typical fighting all around the map. Widespread. Oh, let's see. Here we go. Day 13 is what we're on. Motorized units, recon, military. Infantry, Bolivia, arms industry damaged, Venezuela. I don't see any updates on here as far as people writing, but you can see there's so much going on. Widespread descent in Ukraine, widespread descent in North Korea. It looks like someone's golding him back. Angola hit by insurgent attack. Yeah, whatever. I'm not worried about it. Mali, yeah. So there's nothing really new as far as in the CoN news, but you can see just how much fighting is going on for this game. So if you look at the amount of money that was spent, look at all these smoking things. Like, you can't move through this much territory unless you've just got a ridiculous amount of troops. So yeah, so good to them. They're going to finish this game off strong. We're just going to try to hold a little piece of land, but I'm pretty sure he's just coming straight for me to run me off the map, and that's good for him, right? So I wanted to produce this little video, and I wanted to tell you that it's okay for other people to gold, right? That's their right to come in the great game and drop $200. That's why it's entertainment for them. If you respond and you get all angry and accuse them of stuff, it's okay, right? Like, if that's the reaction. But the best thing to do is concede the game and move on to a new one. It's highly, highly unlikely that they're going to follow you to other games and spend another $200 worth of gold just to get under your skin. And somebody who does spend that amount of money is typically going to lack the skills to do that, to play you fair. Although I think in Lex's case, he is a very smart player. He knows where to move on the map and where to go. So he'll do well even in a one-on-one fight. And same thing with Tommy. Like, I'm not berating them. I'm just saying that those sort of games just aren't fun for me. Yeah, I could come in and drop that sort of money and just dominate every game, or I can come in and show that hustle beats, hustle and talent. Hustle will beat talent every single time is basically what I'm saying. If you're going to get in here and learn the mechanics of the game, you're going to be able to defend against a player who's sloppy because they have extra units. So I just wanted to point that out and say to everybody, don't get dismayed by it in the game. You're going to run into them. Just archive the game. Don't log back in and start a new one. They're not going to start more than one game at a time because they are not going to be able to. They can't spend $200 every single day to keep up with the game. So just concede it, open up 2 more matches, and move on with your way. So Dirty Golder episode number 1. I think what I'll do is start a Dirty Golder list and keep maybe like a Google spreadsheet or something. Anyway, I thought you guys would just like to see what happened with this game because I'm probably not going to update it, and I'm going to do what I said, which is archive it and move on. Have a great night, guys, and happy gaming.